an empty vessel on which millions in secret money was poured. As a candidate, his very ideology was for sale. His top political advisor once described him as a blank chalkboard. His early campaign aides described in sworn testimony that he needed coaching on how to talk Republican. Under Governor Greitens, government itself was for sale to the highest secret bidder. In era Greitens, the secret donors had the loyalty that they were looking for, someone who would resign from office before ever giving them up. But your government is still for sale because we have few safeguards to protect us from this ever happening again. This is not how our politics should be, and it is certainly no way to govern. The Jefferson City establishment wants you to forget that any of this happened and wants to return to politics as usual. We've been brought to this very breaking point because politicians in Jefferson City put themselves ahead of Missourians. Greitens may be gone, but the corruption must be cleaned up and our state's reputation must be restored. We have a big job ahead of us. I'm running in 2018 to continue as your independent watchdog in state government. I believe in order to restore the public trust, we have to get rid of the secret money and the corruption out of your government. It is truly an honor to lead your taxpayer watchdog agency. I am the only independent watchdog holding government accountable for waste, fraud, abuse, and mismanagement. I'm so proud of the work that we do. In the last several years, we've identified about $300 million in government mismanagement. We hold the powerful accountable to the people that they serve. When we find theft of taxpayer dollars, that evidence helps put corrupt public officials out of office and, when necessary, behind bars. Because of my audits, more than 30 criminal counts have been brought against corrupt public officials in this state. I've conducted hundreds of audits, from the smallest municipal courts all the way up to large state agencies and even the governor's office. Along the way, we have changed how government works for the better. I've elevated the importance of cybersecurity in schools and government, brought much needed attention to the root causes of our annual budget shortfalls, championed reforms in our higher education institutions to reduce waste, and exposed how municipal courts have undermined the confidence in the justice system through the collection of illegal fines and fees. In a relatively short amount of time, we've done big things to make government work better for you. And I've done it while running my office under budget every year, returning $1 million to taxpayers in the process. Now, I first became involved in public service as treasurer in Boone County, a local elected position right in the middle of the state. And I started in public service because I wanted to use the skills that I had developed as a CPA and a certified fraud examiner to improve the community around me. And as so many of you know, I still live in Columbia now with my husband John, and we have 3 little boys. William is 6, Ben is 4, and baby Joseph is about 18 months old now. And so I spent a lot of time thinking about the future of this state and what it will be for my family and for yours. And we need leaders who put taxpayers, who put citizens, who put families first above themselves. But for far too long, money has been the driving force in our politics. It's no wonder that Missourians feel like the system is rigged against them. I believe that the Office of the State Auditor is the most important platform in state government to shine a light on corruption. That's what I've done, that's what I'll continue to do, and that's why I am determined to continue as your state auditor. I think Missourians deserve a full accounting of the role that secret dark money has played in buying influence in our state government. Influence in policy that impacts every single person in this room, and how decisions have been made on your tax dollars because of this dark money. I'm calling on the legislature to pass a law requiring disclosure and transparency of contributions to dark money groups, you have a right to know who is buying influence in your government. And if the majority party doesn't have the political courage to do it now, I don't know that they ever will. And if that may be the case, then we need to work to replace those that are standing in our way of the most important ethics reform issue that we have. Speaking of which, the Missouri GOP should tell us how their candidates for auditor plan to stand up to dark money corruption. But the silence has been deafening. Not a word from a candidate seeking the Republican nomination for auditor about the secrecy and corruption under Eric Greitens. In fact, not one could even bring themselves to utter a single critical word about Greitens as the scandals around him grew. To them, I say this: if you are not willing to take a stand for transparency and accountability in government, even when it means criticizing leaders of your own party, you should not be seeking this job. Now, we have reasons to be encouraged about 2018, but we have to be clear what it is we're fighting for. For me, it's a government that is open and responsive to the taxpayers who are footing the bill. It's a government that guards the public trust and doesn't sell out to the highest dark money donor. It's a government that puts you first and is not self-serving. Make no mistake, the Jefferson City insiders are going to come after me in this office with everything they have. They don't want an auditor that's going to ask hard questions. They don't want an auditor that will conduct investigations into questionable state practices. And they definitely do not want an auditor that's going to call out their shadiness and their corruption. Instead, they want an ally in the auditor's office, beholden to the same corrupt influences that Governor Greitens was beholden to. In a time when one party controls all of state government, Missourians deserve an independent watchdog, not a Jefferson City lapdog. As we saw last Tuesday in Clay County, the best place to deliver this message is the ballot box. We're going to send a strong message in August when we defeat Prop A. And we're going to do it again in November by re-electing Claire McCaskill to the U.S. Senate. And all the other great candidates up and down the ballot. I know I can count on you, and I want to thank you for putting your trust and support in me. It really, truly does make a big difference to me personally. And so thank you for allowing me to be here. Thank you for your support.